On the news tonight, House of Representatives acknowledges notable transformation witnessed in NDLEA. Federal government flags off reconstruction of internal roads in Ogun State. Guest on Good Morning Nigeria calls for equal opportunities for people living with disability. Good evening and welcome to NTA Ijebu ode News at 7. My name is Mercy Ezeshi and here are the news details. The House of Representatives has acknowledged the notable transformation being witnessed in the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency around better welfare, improved funding, modern facilities alongside a conducive working environment for personnel. This was during an oversight visit of the Committee on Drugs and Narcotics to the new headquarters and soon-to-be inaugurated barrack of the agency situated in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Ogunjide accompanied the committee on the oversight and now files the report.
The oversight is the first since the inauguration of the committee in June 2023, and it's just been a matter of weeks that the agency relocated to the new headquarters situated at Jai axis of Abuja. The hosts say between January and October 2024, 14,480 arrests of drug offenders, including 15 drug barons, have been made, achieving 2,867 convictions in courts.
It's always a challenge, which is one of the reasons we hope next year will be very helpful to us, because we are obviously under a parent ministry, and it's what they hand over to us that we use. Completely. There's so much that we could do, but we are strapped.
Having facilitated speedy passage of the NDLEA Act Amendment Bill, the committee promises unwavering support in ensuring that NDLEA remains adequately equipped to fulfill its mission.
I am delighted to inform you that National Assembly has just passed the harmonized NDLEA Amendment Act. Soon it will be transmitted to the President to assent.
Committee members also visited Aviation Village, Kiami, where the agency's FCT command barracks is sitting on 14,000 acres of land.
This is part of the nationwide construction project of the NDLEA, and so far so good. Here we've seen so many buildings, and as part of the capital project we have a rehabilitation center and a forensic laboratory.
The layout includes blocks for administrative and entertainment purposes, detention facilities, exhibit store, clinic, powerhouse, drainage system, amongst other features. In Abuja, Joshua Ogunjide, NTA News.
The federal government is to reinvigorate the National Addressing Council to overcome challenges associated with the addressing system in Nigeria. The decision was taken during a pre-meeting of the council chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Presidential Villa. State House correspondent Ibrahim Jibrila reports.
This meeting is setting a stage for a new National Addressing Council, with the technical committee expected to be inaugurated next year to drive the country's agenda on planning, economic and financial inclusion, as well as ensuring an effective national addressing system. Underscoring the need for the immediate standardization of Nigeria's addressing system, Vice President Kashim Shettima described the move as essential for improving service delivery, enhancing urban planning, and driving economic growth. The Vice President decried the consequences of the current disorganized system, noting its impact on governance, logistics, and the financial inclusion of many Nigerians.
And this is more than complicated systematic addressing market. It undermines trust in address verification, and the consequences ripple far and wide. Inefficient governance, logistical bottlenecks, delayed emergency responses, and the exclusions of many Nigerians from the financial services.
Presentations were made by the National Identity Management Commission on enhancing the nation's address verification system and building a critical infrastructure for the National Addressing Database project, while the Nigeria Postal Service made a presentation on harmonizing the postcode with the National Addressing System deploying the latest technology, particularly geolocating the physical addresses of Nigerians captured in the project. Leveraging opportunities in the national addressing system will fast-track government's vision of attaining inclusivity and economic prosperity, especially for Nigerians in the rural areas. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
Nigeria is taking a bold step to improve workplace harmony and boosting economic growth as it sets the stage to finalize the National Industrial Relations Policy. Ignatius Nkwo reports that this is the landmark move that seeks to redefine the relationship between employers, employees, labor union and the government, anchored on promoting fairness and equity.
Labor relations in Nigeria is on the pedestal of a transformative movement as the federal government moves to finalize its National Industrial Relations Policy, a significant framework designed to reshape the dynamics of workplace relations. In the face of evolving labor disputes, the National Industrial Relations Policy emerges as a signal of hope, offering clear principles to bridge the divide between employers, employees, labor unions, and the government. It promises a future where fairness, equity, and justice are not just aspirations, but the foundation of Nigeria's labor sector.
To building an inclusive and resilient economy, where the rights and responsibilities of employers, employees, and the government are clearly defined.
We should really create, strengthen, maintain platforms for dialogue so that we can identify issues before they become huge.
The Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment is committed to addressing long-standing issues that have impeded the advancement of industrial relations, from disputes over workers' rights to inadequate mechanism for conflict resolution, by fostering open dialogue, strengthening collective bargaining, and ensuring compliance with global labor standards.
We are determined to ensure that industrial relations get the best practice in Nigeria.
The policy aims to harmonize interest and boost productivity. For employers, it offers clarity and stability. For employees, a promise of dignity and security, and for Nigeria, a pathway to sustainable economic growth. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
The Minister of State for Works, Mohammed Bello Goronyo, has flagged off the reconstruction of some internal roads in Ogun West Senatorial District of Ogun State. Hakeem Jimo reports that the project is being handled by the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA.
The road construction project is intended to link up the hinterland of Ogun West Senatorial District with other parts of the state and beyond for easy transportation of agricultural products and commercial activities. Minister of State for Works, Mohammed Bello Goronyo, reiterates the commitment of the federal government to reconstruct more roads across Nigeria to open up the hinterland for increased employment generation and wealth creation.
By placing infrastructure as a key priority, we have deliberately rolled out plans to make sure that we bring it up to speed with the reality in our roads, reality in terms of our infrastructure that is there, and then to see how we can engage partners.
Stakeholders who appreciated the federal government for the gesture urged the contractors handling the newly flagged off Ilaro-Egbo Access Road in Yewa South Local Government Area of Ogun State to deliver on specification.
While these roads are open, they will offer value and utility to the road users. Encourage the agrarian community in this area to also market their product.
All things being equal, the 2-kilometer project is expected to be completed within the next 12 months. From Ilaro in Yewa South Local Government Area of Ogun State, Akin Jimo, NTA News.
Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun has presented the year 2025 appropriation bill of 1,055 billion naira to the State House of Assembly, comprising of 453 billion 560 million naira recurrent expenditure and 600 billion 980 million naira capital expenditure. Yemi Delomo reports that the budget was christened Budget of Hope and Prosperity.
Presenting the budget before the state lawmakers, Governor Dapo Abiodun said the proposal had 120.14 billion naira for personnel costs, 219.86 billion naira overhead expenses, and 76.07 billion naira as public debt charge. He stated that revenue composition included an estimated 120.97 billion naira from the Ogun State Internal Revenue Service and 193.86 billion naira from other ministries, departments, and agencies, totaling 314.82 billion naira. Given the sectorial allocation in the budget proposal, education got 117.8 billion naira, representing 17%, health 134.5 billion naira, representing 13%, housing and community development sector 66.3 billion naira, representing 6%, agriculture and industry we got 65.3 billion naira, representing 6%, while infrastructure will take the larger chunk of the budget with a total estimate of 284.4 billion naira, representing 27%. Recreation, culture, and region will take 25.27 billion naira, representing 2%.
We will continue our party attention to completion of all ongoing projects across the Ishoya development pillars. Projects with revenue potentials. Projects that will enhance employment generation. Projects consistent with priorities articulated in the State Economic Development Plan and Strategy year 2021 to 2025. And the projects are in line with the 7 thematic areas contained in the medium-term National Development Plan for the year 2021 to year 2025. Namely, 1. Economic growth and development. 2. Infrastructure. 3. Public administration, which includes governance, security, and international relations. 4. Human capital development. 5. Social development. 6. Regional development. And 7. Plan implementation, communication, financing, monitoring, and evaluation.
The Speaker of the House, Oludaisi Elemide, who appreciated the governor for renovating the Assembly complex, explained that 14 bills were considered in the year 2024, 9 bills have been passed, while 32 motions were equally passed into resolutions, and promised that the appropriation bill will be accorded accelerated passage.
On our plans and lawmakers, we will do all within our power to ensure the timely passage of the working and beneficial appropriation bill.
Governor Dapo Abiodun had earlier inaugurated the newly redesigned State Assembly complex built over 45 years ago. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA.
We will be going on a break. Please stay tuned.
NTA Ijebu ode, your heritage station. Nigeria Television Authority, NTA Ijebu ode Heritage Station. A station that updates you on latest information, news, people day-to-day activities. We promote Nigeria culture. We bring to you educative programs and talk shows for young and old. We give you latest updates from the world of sports. We also bring to you updates from the entertainment world. We are the best among the West. We are available on Startime Channel 103 and UHF 63.
Your heritage station. Oyo State Police Command is holding a series of high-profile engagements on security with critical stakeholders to forestall any breakdown of law and order during, before, and after Christmas and New Year celebrations. Grace Ayaleke tells us more.
As we count down to Christmas and the New Year celebrations and preparations by individuals and organizations have heightened, the Oyo State Police Command is not relenting in its efforts to ensure that criminally minded individuals do not seize the opportunity to perpetrate crime. Hence, these meetings with key players wielding various forms of influence.
This gathering today is to further sensitize people, synergize with people, hear from them, to tell them what we've been observing of late that seems is constituting security challenges.
As concerns from different quarters might result in some sort of apprehension about the safety of residents and travelers during this Christmas period, the police and other security agencies are ensuring that they have mapped out strategies to have a crime-free Christmas.
So all we need to do is to up our game, step on it, and make sure all that we did that works for us in the early ember months, we improve on it in the remaining part of the year. Collectively, we should all be security conscious.
The police also call on the people to give credible intelligence that would aid their operations, especially in the wake of the Yuletide season in Ibadan. Grace Ayolike, NTA News.
With more than 31 million Nigerians living with disability issues of policy gap, barrier, equal opportunities, accessibility and discriminations are still on the front banner in attaining a sustainable future for persons with disability. These were views of guests on Good Morning Nigeria while discussing inclusion and sustainable futures for people living with disability. Ibrahim Belogonda reports.
Speaking on the condition persons with disability find themselves in Nigeria despite the Persons with Disability Act, among other measures, guests on Good Morning Nigeria say inclusion is still a challenge that need a holistic approach while sharing their journey to disability and how they navigate life as a lesson for others. They highlight the need for sensitization to close the barrier and gap affecting persons with disability, provide equal opportunities and advocacy against discrimination, among others.
You have different reactions from people around you, your colleagues in the office. Some accept you, but again, it depends on your own attitude, the way you see life, the way you react. So right from when I was still at home recuperating, when people would come around to see me, and some would come in weeping because they knew what I was. And I would say, hey, are you okay? What's wrong? Do I look like there's anything wrong with me? I am not disabled. I am differently abled.
For persons with disability, of course, the discrimination before, 10, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you won't see us on television, national television, you know. So there's been some level of improvement.
They were unanimous on the need for enforcement of laws to ensure violators answer for their action or inaction.
In my office, we have a hotline in reporting, but we cannot just see something in the social media without a reporting. We have a reporting mechanism. National Commission for Persons with Disability, they have a director of enforcement and compliance, and they have a legal director, they have everything, and they have their hotline is 24 hours opening. It's another reporting mechanism. Why would
So as a commission, we're opening 6 zonal offices in the 6 geopolitical zones, and we're going to have offices in all the 36 states, including the FCT, and the over 774 local governments will have liaison offices in all of them, so that we will draw the government closer to the people. Then we can have a bottom-up approach.
Guests on the program stressed the need for both private and public sectors to be committed to the implementation of Persons with Disability Act by stopping discrimination in whatever guise, ensure accessibility, and accommodate Nigerians irrespective of their physical condition. In Abuja, Ibrahim Belogonda, NTA News.
That's all we have for you today on NTA Ijebu ode News at 7. Thank you for staying tuned. Good night.